After the mysterious encounter that Claire had, months pass, and life begins to return to normal for Claire, or at least as normal as it can be after everything she's endured. The story of Ashgrove and Blackwood Manor becomes a sensation, with her articles capturing the attention of readers and sparking a renewed interest in the haunted histories of old estates. Claire's bravery is celebrated, and she's hailed as a heroine who faced down the darkness and won. But the fame and recognition bring little comfort to her. Despite the peaceful facade, Claire can't shake the feeling that something still lingers. She wakes up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, her dreams plagued by images of the manor and the spirit she banished. During the day, she finds herself glancing over her shoulder, certain she's being watched. The shadows in her apartment seem to move on their own, and some Claire tries to dismiss these feelings as the aftereffects of trauma. After all, anyone who went through what she did would be haunted by memories. But as the strange occurrences become more frequent and intense, she begins to fear that something darker is at play. One evening, as she sits in her apartment going through old research notes, she notices something she hadn't seen before, a symbol, faintly etched into the margin of one of the pages. It's the same symbol she saw in Blackwood Manor. Her heart skips a beat. This symbol, she realizes, is a mark, a link between her and the curse, something that binds her to the darkness she thought she had defeated. Determined to uncover the truth, Claire delves back into her research. She digs deeper into the history of the Hawthorne family who lived in the Blackwood Manor. She revisits her long time ago in the town of Ashgrove. The Hawthorne family lived in the Blackwood Manor. The family has mainly 3 members, Mr. Hawthorne, Mrs. Hawthorne, and their 10-year-old daughter, Sally. In addition to that, there was a maid who stayed with the Hawthorne family for doing household chores. The family is kind, and people of Ashgrove had great respect towards them. The maid is from end of the town, and she had a son who was suffering from sickness since birth. He was paralyzed, his body is covered with wounds, and he can't take care of himself. The maid is so depressed about her son's condition and so desperate to get him cured. Despite the failure of all the efforts, her last hope was a witch who practices black magic. The witch told the maid to do a specific ritual and give a human sacrifice to lift up the curse from her son. That night the maid went back to the manor. She poisoned the food that's prepared for dinner and served it to the Mr. and Mrs. Hawthorne. Once they finished eating, they both fell dead in the dining table. The maid, with her evil smile, went upstairs into the room of Sally, covered her mouth with her hand and strangled her till she fainted down. After a while, Sally woke up and saw herself tied up in an antler in the center of the room in the basement. For my son. Uttering the words, she stabbed at the chest of Sally, piercing through the heart. Sally screamed for a second and died immediately. The blood from her body covered the whole room. Sally's eyes all focused on the maid with shock and anger, as if she will come back for revenge. After the incident, the maid is found dead in a mysterious way, and people in the Ashgrove were scared to go near the manor and to live in the town. After knowing the story behind the manor, Claire hears faint whisper again. "Claire, come to me, help. Set me free." The next day Claire decided to visit the Blackwood Manor again. As she ventures deeper into the manor, Claire begins to hear faint whispers, just at the edge of her hearing. They grow louder as she approaches a grand staircase leading down into the bowels of the manor. She follows the whispers, feeling an invisible force pulling her toward whatever lies below. At the bottom of the stairs, she finds herself in a vast underground chamber. The walls are lined with ancient tapestries depicting scenes of ritual and sacrifice. In the center of the room stands an altar with the dead and dusty remains of the 10-year-old girl Sally, covered in strange, arcane symbols that pulse with a faint, otherworldly light. As Claire approaches the altar, the whispers reach a fever pitch, and she feels a cold, spectral presence brush against her skin. Claire stood in front of the antler, prayed to God for Sally. She set fire on the antler, making the dead remains burn away. As she watches the fire, Claire saw the spirit of Sally waved goodbye to her with thankful eyes going up in the heaven. The long struggle of Sally is finally over, and she is at peace now. Claire walks out of the manor, on her way back to her city. As she walks away, Claire realizes that this experience has changed her forever. She has faced unimaginable horrors, but she has also uncovered the truth, brought peace to the rest